Thank you. Next witness, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. I'm here today on behalf of Chamber of Progress, a center-left tech industry association that works to ensure that all Americans benefit from technological leaps. Our corporate partners include companies like Meta, Google, and Twitter, yet none of our partners have a vote or veto on any of our positions. One of our organization's top priorities is to promote safe and healthy online communities, and we know this committee shares that goal. Social media, like many technologies, can be used for good or for ill. And many leading services have taken steps to promote kids' positive use for their services. For example, YouTube Kids provides a curated experience for younger kids using a combination of algorithms and manual curations to make sure it only shows child-appropriate videos. Last year, Instagram announced that it would roll out new settings that give teens and parents more control over upsetting content. Instagram today steers teens who are searching for disorder eating topics toward helpful support resources. Twitter announced safety mode, which temporarily blocks accounts for 7 days for using potentially harmful language, such as insults or hateful remarks, or sending repetitive or uninvited replies or mentions. While this legislation is well-intentioned, it can actually worsen the experience for kids online by threatening important support networks, limiting access to content that is important for kids' health and well-being, and driving kids to services that may lack the safeguards in place and covered by these services. Throughout the pandemic, when many kids were confined at home, learning social media gave them the opportunity to connect with friends, relatives, and teachers. By increasing platforms' legal liability for content online, this bill can prompt services to crack down on the availability of content that can play a positive role for kids and teens, such as positive information about healthy eating, education, about race relations and social justice, and information on gun safety. Finally, while large social media companies have done essential work to make safer spaces for kids and teens and devote millions of dollars each year to online content moderation, many smaller services have not. Because this legislation only applies to services with more than $100 million in annual revenue, this legislation could drive kids away from big flat platforms and move them instead to smaller, less responsible platforms not covered by this bill, such as Signal. Furthermore, this bill exempted for encrypted messages apps make it even more difficult for parents to have visibility into what their children are doing online. Overall, this bill's restrictions could end up driving kids away from the very services that have invested the most resources in protecting their young users. We share your goal of protecting kids online, yet we worry this bill would expose kids to a more unsafe environment and reduce kids' ability to communicate, share, and connect with each other and the broader world. We agree that unhealthy content for kids is a real problem. We would like to work with the committee on a more targeted approach than AB 2408 that aims at the harms of social media while also preserving its vital benefits. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Are there others in the room who would like to indicate opposition?